What is good, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back. It is time for a brand new transfer talk. We have a much welcome fullback link. I think everyone can agree we do need fullbacks. Is he the right one? We'll get into that in a bit. And also, I want to talk about just the links that we get in post the Igor Paixão thing. I want to get into that with you as well and get your thoughts on it. We do have a follow-up, though, with Artem Dovbyk, who we were linked with yesterday. Leeds United is said to be very interested in the striker, along with West Ham and another club. Could be available for around 30 million after they sign Evan Ferguson. Don Gasparini has moved on, and he's seemingly surplus to requirements if Roma can get the fee they want. His agent has come out and said that he's fully focused on Roma. He's not looking to move, but this speculation has distracted him, which is very interesting. Now, Dovbyk has got all the physical attributes needed to succeed in the Premier League. I have no doubt about that. And even 12 goals in 32 is not a bad return in Serie A. We were looking at Kristovic earlier this window, who had 11 for Lecce. Obviously, two different ends of the table, so there's context there. But before that, at Girona, he was a goal machine. I mean, he scored like 24 league goals, which is, nothing to sniff at in La Liga. So he's definitely got pedigree. Now, it's all about preference, and I'm asking you guys this: who would you prefer out of the two, Muniz or Dovbyk? Which one do you feel has the high ceiling? But not just the high ceiling, by the way. Who has the tools to help us survive in the Premier League this season? Who do you think is going to come up with the clutch goals out of the two strikers? Because currently these are the only two. I mentioned Franjo Ivanovic yesterday, but he is now moving to Benfica. That is pretty much done. So even Wolves couldn't hijack that one. But who do you think would be more of a difference maker? Now, does it change your perception of Muniz without Paixão there? Does that ruin it there without that Brazilian connection? Or do you think it can still work with Ramazani, with James, with Nanto, and another, whoever that will be coming in? Does that not deter you from it? I'm very interested to know, because I do like Dovbyk's pedigree. I think he is currently nursing an injury at this moment in time. But I do like his pedigree a lot. Is 30 million a lot? Not really, because Roma, paid that around that for him, and he did not flop. It's not like we're, getting back damaged goods here. We're getting back a striker that still netted a few in Serie A. My only thing, as I always say with this, is that goal conversion from Serie A to the Premier League isn't always, it's not always great. But just because of the physical attributes he has got and the eye for goal he has, I do think that this would be a very good signing. Now, as we say, West Ham are involved in this, so it could be the pull of an established Premier League team that could draw him there. London as well, being a factor as well, could easily help him settle in around there. So it's going to be an interesting one to look out for. But yeah, Dovbyk, if he was to come in and be the striker, I could definitely work with that. But I do have preferences, and Mitrovic is that one. Okay, I know Mitrovic isn't going to happen, but I'm just thinking, 30-ish million on Dovbyk. I think we could plow that money into a loan for Mitro, get that. But I'm just dreaming. Speaking of dreams, people, we've been getting into silly season over the last couple of days. Mika Godts of Ajax, wonder kid, if you will, is being linked with a move to Leeds United. And I'm not going to comment too much on this one, because it's going to go into what I'm going to talk about next. This is not happening. Okay, this is just not happening. I don't see how it would fit. The thing is, what we're getting now, and I'm not even bringing up a lot of the links here, people, because we've gone into silly season. That happens through the window anyway. And as one of my commenters said yesterday, Russ, I think there's going to be a lot of agent talk here and some lazy journalist work going on at the moment following the fallout, and believe there will be a lot more links to us until our next target is actually signed. Couldn't agree more. And that's what we're seeing right now. We're getting linked to players that are just nowhere near it in terms of the quality to Igor Paixão. Now, listen, we know we're not going to get him, but there's got to be a list, right? And at the moment, what I'm seeing with these links is that it's Igor Paixão at the top, and then we're having to scroll all the way down, because these links here must be all the way at the bottom. These can't be second, third, fourth. And I just feel now, because people know we've got money and we're willing to spend that on Igor Paixão, because people know we're looking for a marquee type of player, they're going to link us with absolutely everybody until we get something done. My feeling is the links as well have been very underwhelming, and a lot will be underwhelming, in comparison to Igor Paixão. But I mean, just super underwhelming overall, as in like the talent level of the player is nowhere near a difference maker. And I mentioned yesterday's video, and I'll link it in one of the top 2 corners about, you know, Take from Sociedad or Harvey Barnes. If you can go in for those, I feel those are like on the same level or just below Igor Paixão in terms of could be a real difference maker. But we are being linked with everybody at this point in time. But what I do think is that the 49ers, whoever the 49ers do pick, and whoever we get a proper link with next, and that's either via Fabrizio, David Ornstein, Mike McGrath, Graham Smith at this point, whoever that link is will be much more exciting than what's being linked out there right now, because currently we're being linked to absolutely everybody, and we're just being used at this point in time. It's easy to do. Leeds United need a player, let's link this player to him, and I think that's what the Mika Godts thing is as well. So I'm not going to go in too much on a lot of the targets in that way, because we are just being used in the press now, and it is lazy journalism, as Russ rightly said so yesterday. But one thing that I do like is James Justin. I do like this link to James Justin, 27 years old, ex-England international now at this point, hasn't been called up for a while, can play left and right. And even though I am steadfast on us getting a proper left back in, and I mean a left-footed left back, he can play both sides very easily. I mean, at one point in the Premier League, he and Ricardo Pereira were 2 of the best fullbacks in the league. At one point, they were generally 2 of the best fullbacks that were playing in the Premier League. It's a few years ago now. He has had his injuries previously, people, but he hasn't had any major ones lately. I mean, he had an absolutely horrible couple of years, cruciate ligament tear, Achilles tendon rupture, but since then he's come back and he's fighting fit. Is he the perfect defender? No, he's not, and he's not going to be for what we're probably looking for. But does he provide competition? Yes, definitely more so than Sam Byram at this stage of their careers. And James Justin as well can get up and down easily. He's got a good eye for goal as well, to be fair. Will find himself in the opposition box. He is a bit like Jayden Bogle, but I think Jayden Bogle is just a little bit more pacey and athletic. But James Justin, if we were to get him on a cheap deal, I think he's got a year left on his deal, I wouldn't have no issues with this. But what I would want is that we get him as the right back competition, yeah, and then get a left back in as well. Please get another left-footed fullback. Guys, we at this point in time, we have Goodmanson and Bogle and Byram. That's not going to cut it. Okay, we've got key issues we need to sort out, but we've got depth issues we need to sort out. And fullback is a glaring one for me. It has been, and it will be until the end of the window for me. I don't think we can cut corners there. No, Bogle, you know, he's an aggressive fullback. He's going to have to defend more this season. Had a lot of yellow cards last season as well. You know, there's gonna be suspensions, there's gonna be injuries. We need to cover ourselves properly. Do not leave it to chance and make Byram have a run of 2, 3, 4 games. To me, that's a nightmare. You know, and nothing against Sam Byram. He's here, he signed a new contract, but he needs to be, in case of emergency, break open glass. Like I say, stat line of 2 substitute appearances all season long, cup games. That should be Sam Byram. He should not be seeing 8, 9, 10 games in the Premier League. That can't happen if we're being serious about staying in the Premier League. So James Justin, we'll keep an eye on this one. I don't think this will be an expensive deal to do with him only having a year left. And I do like the player. You know, not perfect, but for a competition for Jayden Bogle, I wouldn't mind it. But what say you? That's it for the video, people. I hope you're well. Like the video before you go. It's free to do, helps out the channel immensely, so thank you for that. Also, the FPL is back up and running. The link is in the description if you want to join the league and have some fun there. I'll try and sort out a prize. I always say this, but then I'll just award it to myself. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, guys, see you in the next one. Peace out. I'll see you in the next one.